If he's doing that on purpose, it's impressive.
What's that? Hold on, Hans. What were you saying? Hans? You were saying something. Don't get shy now.
Oh, hi everyone.
Why
Oh,
does it uptick the pitch of your voice when the cord is loose? I've never encountered an electronic that would ever do that to me.
I'm not a doctor. I don't know. Who would know?
What's the word, boys? It's time to become citizen vigilantes. Uwe Boll is joining us in studio as he did last time I reviewed one of his films, so stay tuned for that. But more importantly, we're joined by Hans.
Hello. I'm the other German racist that will be joining this this episode.
Speaking of German races, which way do I go? Vote down below. I'm going to go with LowRes on this one. Good transition.
Well, I'm German too, if you count the umlaut, right? So, very happy to be back and talking about this even more.
And Eggy, I'm scared to get my DNA tested because if I'm Jewish, then you three are coming after me. But Eggy's here as well.
If.
That's right. The man who is not falling for the new discourse. I am going to stay firm on my original opinion the day I watch this movie. We'll get into it.
Eggy, people were pissed that you were not on the Obsession episode. What was the deal? Did somebody do a One Wish Willow that you were hypnotized for the night and you couldn't make it?
I think it was that something changed with the scheduling, maybe perhaps, and that I had to this heat wave. I'm sweating through about 10 pairs of everything per day. I had to hit the laundromat. It smelled like the inside of an Italian sandwich, I was told around here. Very oily, very vinegary. So frankly, it was and also I'm gonna keep it real. I'm sure you guys had all the right opinions that I would just have nodded along to. I would have loved to have been a part, but it was more pressing that I stopped peeling the paint off the walls with my wretched stench. It is what it is.
And Eggy, you said that you used your contact with Uwe Boll and that you sent him the link to join this podcast and he'll show up because of you pretty soon.
Well, I am known to go postal, and he made the movie about going postal, so I think really he should. But and I've never denigrated the German people. In fact, I took German class when I was in high school, so I really should have an affinity for one another. But for some reason, all these Austrians and Germans I keep talking to, they're just hard to come by. They tell me that they're very autistic people. I say it's a superpower. I don't see what the big deal is. But we have some kind of disconnect, however, so it is what it is. I will try and summon him. We're all large foreheaded and balding people around here, just like Uwe Ball. So I think you could appreciate our time and our presence.
LowRes, in case a lot of people in the audience don't know what the hell this movie is, could you give like a brief explanation to them?
So, Army Hammer is a landlord who lives in Croatia, or he's staying in Croatia for some reason, and he's just fed up with people taking advantage of the system and cutting corners and doing things like just walking onto a bus without paying the fare, or stabbing a white lady in the neck and watching her bleed out, and then threatening people with a big knife, or violently raping a white Western woman with your group of Muslim friends, and the family encouraging that through religion or other means. Democracy taking the back seat. He's had enough and he won't take it anymore. It's a very relatable topic, especially for the Europeans right now. And what a film for Army Hammer to wind up with as his big comeback.
Did you guys watch our dear friend Kino Corner's interview with both Army Hammer and Uwe Boll?
Hans definitely didn't, but I did.
I did as well. And I think it's declared in that interview that Army Hammer's character in this movie is autistic, and that explains a lot of his psychological, I'm having sex with this prostitute in a building that I own, and there's what is it? Mold on the ceiling.
Coming into
so I have
ceiling.
To stop fucking this bitch to complain about it. Because when things are out of line, when the system is not going the way it's supposed to by the book, this autistic brain gets upset. And he takes it to the level of society's broken because these Muslim immigrants are causing mischief. And in this severely autistic man, he needs to fix it to cure his autism. Eggy, does that make sense to you? You're clapping.
Well, it does, and see, I'd heard this scene reference. I watched it a little bit after. Actually, I was actually off of Twitter by the time I watched it. I think it was maybe 2 days ago, 3 days ago. So I got to it a little bit later than some, and I'd heard this scene referenced, and I'm thinking it's something ridiculous. No, I mean, he simply addresses that there's a structural error. I mean, otherwise he's going to have sex. He's going to finish his time there. He's going to be too preoccupied with something else. He's not going to have the time. You got to handle that business when it's there. Very sensible. And the woman goes, so this is you're not gonna pay me? He's like, no, you have done your job. And now we're going to, and he like pushes her face in the pillow and just goes, I mean, it's just matter of fact, it just makes sense. This is exactly how anybody would approach the situation. If not, I think the problem's with you if you wouldn't do it like that, to be honest.
He forgets about the mold, and he's like, "All right, let me go back to emptying my balls on this little prostitute." And and then I just love the fact that he's like, "You should not allow people to take showers here and not open the windows." Like that's a big, big thing for him because he owns this. That was a confusing scene for me because at one point I thought he would be like a Christian value guy, right? But then he's owns a building that has a prostitutes that he fucks. So then
I
it
think
was
it's
like,
because it's legal in that country. He just believes in the law of the land, and the authorities are not upholding it anymore. So he has
mm,
to become the human
right.
vigilante or the
The
citizen
the
vigilante.
the Hassan Piker Andrew Tate defense. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Sure.
Well, there's another defense for it here, perhaps not to make any. It's just to say that he isn't exactly a Christian value person. This has been the hot discourse that's been going on what I refer to as the Chud Twitter space in the last few days. They say, well, Army Hammer, don't you know he's like 5% Israeli DNA? So this character, he is neurotic, owns a lot of property, doesn't make any qualms with having a little bit of fun. It's not against any of his values. He's not Muslim, and he's not very
Mm.
fond of those particular people, which all track with perhaps a stereotypical perception of the Israeli figure, which has caused some in the Chud community to disavow the film as not the right kind of
Mm.
intensity, not the right kind of social upheaval that they crave for specifically and exactly, so they don't want it. As for myself, as a discontented member of society, the idea of a vigilante creating justice where there's none to be found is something that's quite satisfying to me, regardless of these small hangups, in my opinion.
I think the term you're looking for is spiritually Israeli. Is what
Oh,
describes
it's
him as.
Genetically,
exactly
also.
what I was going to say. It is a film that's celebrating there is the film itself has a call to action at the end where it has text up on the screen that is agreeing with the vigilante's attitude. Like the film itself is telling the viewer, if this is happening around you and nobody's stopping it, just go fucking kill those people. The movie is advocating for violence. And that is very Israeli coded because it's specifically against Muslims. And I guess this actor, as Eggy's saying, might be 5% Israeli. That's an interesting read I didn't consider, but at the end of the day, all religions are equally real, right? So,
That's right.
we can hate Muslims as much as we hate Israel, right? Why
Yeah,
not?
exactly. If it's not me, you know what? Why should I care what happens to it? As far as I'm concerned,
Yeah,
that's the
that's the other
American way,
side of
for
the
goodness
world.
sake.
Do you guys know that the original title for this movie was The Dark Knight, but they had
Yeah,
to
yeah.
That's
they had to
excellent because
change
he's a
it?
In
billionaire,
fact,
right?
when you're downloading the movie off of certain websites, it's still called The Dark Knight.
Is
My
that
copy had
Elvis?
that.
Is that Elvis on your wall,
No, that's
Lawrence?
me. No, that was me when I
Oh,
was 23.
oh, it looks like
Eggy, you
Elvis.
need that for
Yeah,
your bedroom.
Mm, that is
If
true.
if it's
I'm
Elvis,
I'm
not if it's
away.
LowRes.
I'm away right now, so this is obviously not the usual movie studio setup. I'm strategically muting my microphone every time people come and
Oh
go by the
no,
hallway, since apparently you can hear tea kettles that are fucking 2 floors down in this building. But
LowRes is in a hostel.
yeah, yep. Yeah, I mean, I think this movie is very interesting. I've obviously talked about it a bit on my Substack and on X because the engagement's been terrific. Anyone who talks about this movie immediately gets 200 new followers every single time. I think this movie is such an interesting juxtaposition because it is not at any point condemning the Army Hammer character. What is his character's name?
Oh, fuck.
Michael Sanders.
Sanders, yeah.
Sanders. Okay. What I pointed out in my article was that if this was an American-made film, or really just like if anybody else made this movie, you're gonna get the version of the film that's falling down, which is like, yeah, but he's actually the bad guy. Yeah, he's doing all the cool shit, and you want to be like that guy if you're watching the movie, but he's the bad guy, and it would give you this 50-50 of like, don't be that man, don't act like that man, don't get it twisted. Everything he's doing here is, very naughty, very bad stuff. That's
It
not
would
what
also not
happens here.
be. It would also not be a tall, in shape white man. It would be like a little neebish little guy that's
Yeah.
upset at the world, just like in Falling Down.
It'd be a
Whereas,
severely Jewish actor pretending to be white to
yeah,
humiliate us.
right. It would be Howard from The Big Bang Theory, being on Falling Down instead. He's just wearing the same clothes that he wears on that show, but shooting McDonald's workers, I guess.
Mm. So you would get that sort of reflexive morality of like, okay, well, no, actually, he's a gray character, or he is the bad guy. Well, that's not what you get here. You just get like this unrepentant massacre because the country's fucked up and the morals of the country are fucked up. So what does this? What does this matter? It's kind of evening the scales. So I appreciated that about it, and the fact that you have somebody as skilled as Army Hammer fronting the movie, like it's a direct product of the last 10 years of Western culture, of all of the relaxation around immigration, and then also, of course, uh, taking these guys down and trying to remove their careers. So suddenly now there's this ghetto that exists full of talented actors who are willing to work for cheap, and they can't really be picky about the material. Army Hammer said, what was this, the first script that he got offered after they were like, oh, you got a vor fetish, so you're fucking out, man. Um,
I can't believe we didn't get him for Disorderly. Now that I think about
there's still time.
it,
There's still time.
that would have
Can you
been.
think of any movies outside of Cape shit that celebrates the anti-hero and the vigilante like this film does?
No, no, even Death Wish, I feel like, and listen, it's been a couple years since I watched the original Death
Mm.
Wish, but they make a habit of going like, yeah, but what he's doing is wrong. It's not as heavy as what you get with like other movies, right? But even
especially
that,
if, especially if you think about Eli Roth's Death Wish. This is better than that. Listen, I'm not a fan. I think this movie sucks ass. I think I like the subject matter, and I like the fact that this guy's like whatever. I hate the 2014 YouTube atheist monologues that
mhm.
he spews every time he opens his mouth. So I wasn't a huge fan of him just monologuing at what is it? A judge that's high on heroin, and this is the moment when I'm showing you videos of things. He's asleep, dude. What are you doing? But I,
Well, we can
I,
we
I,
can talk about this movie as
yeah,
a film, and as a film, I feel like it's shit. But the movie as
yeah.
a cultural byproduct of like 2026
Mm.
is a very interesting subject, and I think that's really why it's taken off as this conversation piece. And listen, I'm calling the movie shit, but it's not total shit, because if we had gotten the version of this film without Army Hammer, and who would he have cast in that case? Would it have been Scott Farkas from A Christmas Story? He's worked with that guy before, right? What was his name?
Peter
Chris Ward,
Mahaffey?
Scott Ward. Yeah, Isaac Peter
No,
Mahaffey is Michael
what's that?
Sanderson.
Titus's brother that he got in Postal. What's his name? That ginger guy.
Donald Logue, who?
No, no, from Titus. Do you remember his brother, the little
I
redhead
didn't watch it. You
guy?
talk about Titus. That's my only reference point for Titus is you watched it.
Here's
Monkey,
an
Eggy,
idea.
do you guys watch Titus?
Never heard
My,
of that.
fuck you guys, I'm too old.
What's your word, Iggy?
What's her name? The guy or the girl that was in The Sopranos that hasn't really had any work in the last 20 years. She's like on Fox News now. She could have been like the female Avenger, like, this is for all my girls out here who are getting attacked, and she's doing like Italian
Is that
style.
your
Like,
Livia Soprano impression?
no, it's Chris's fiance that's escaping me right now because I'm brain dead today.
Chris is. Oh,
Maybe we get Ben Kingsley in
Yeah,
this
because
role.
who did she just
This
interviewed
yeah,
This
somebody.
guy, that
that's
guy.
who I was
Okay.
talking about, Hans. Yeah.
That's Titus's brother.
That's exactly
yeah.
who I was imagining.
I mean, I can see it, right? Yeah, I can.
He's got a
mm,
jawline. That's all you
yeah.
need, right?
And he's ginger, so he's mad at the world, right? Because that's unfair. So
In
now I would understand
Croatia,
it. Oh,
especially.
fair.
Oh,
You
Eggy,
probably
you
get
were
it on horror
teasing us
films.
earlier about you having some sort of hard take on the movie that you're going to be consistent with. So, what is your take on this
Uh,
film?
well, that is essentially it. Just because I watched it, I found it enjoyable enough, and I will say, obviously, some of the I found it to be some of I don't want to say necessarily amateur because I feel like Uwe Ball can't really qualify for that anymore, so it kind of has to go to just suck. But I was getting airs of My Son Hunter, as some of us may recall. It's something to do, and I thought maybe that's where Hans was going. He's talking about. He said YouTube. And they went to the atheist monologues where he's doing like these blurred videos that anybody could decode if you have like even software from like 20 years ago instantly.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, the YouTube like news desk moments where it's kind of it's Fiverr-ish, which is interesting to me because then they have these scenes where there's tanks going down the road and there's cars exploding and buildings being shot up and stuff. Obviously, there was budget for things, even though it was all paid out of Uwe Boll's pocket since he asked us to donate to his PayPal on his Twitter after he released it. But
Do you
anyway,
mean the scenes where the news ladies like
well,
should I read should I read this?
there's
Is this
it's the
am I allowed to read this?
it's something that just seems to be for some reason, I don't know, maybe this is like God just wills it so that for movies that happen to have a right-leaning cultural slant, it needs to have bad audio mixing with the narration, so it sounds very low on bass. It feels very like light and airy and like they're just recording the line across the room, and I just noticed this because I'm going into it and I'm saying, okay, I have no preconceived biases. I was able to stay off it for some days. I didn't watch any spoilers or any of it. Um,
Same.
and coming into it, yeah, it's just one of those things that you notice where it's like it sounds like they're recording it in a way that is not at a professional level for whatever the reason might be. Maybe if it's too full, maybe that takes away from something. Maybe they want to keep the focus on the footage, not so much the narration. But that's kind of anyway. My cold, hard, hot take, however you want to define it, was that yes, the opinion has shifted lately. They said, "Oh, actually, we don't like it anymore because Uwe Ball, he was on a podcast." This is I don't know if you brought this up during the LowRes episode because I didn't listen to the LowRes interview at this time yet, but he was on a different.
Low
Low-res.
res interview.
I mean, I'm
Kino
sorry,
corner.
Kino Court. See, like I said, I'm kind of fried
Damn.
today. Well, I'm literally boiling alive.
I
I
made
have like
Eggy wake up super early to review Supergirl today, so he's got to be
yeah.
sleepy by
Oh,
now.
oh,
no.
I got I
Heat
oh!
got
You poor
stroke,
fans
right?
on
thing.
me. I got fans on me right now, but it is like literally 100 degrees in here. Okay.
Eggy, did he
Um,
make you go to the theater to watch Supergirl?
I didn't make him; he chose to.
I did
Oh.
choose to. Yes, it was.
Was it for the air conditioner?
Yes.
It was much cooler in the theater. I will agree. No, it was discount Tuesday, so it was only a few bucks.
Hell yeah.
Over half price or whatever it was. So I didn't watch the Kino Corner, and I don't know if it comes up in his interview, but in other interviews it did. Essentially, Uwe Ball, I guess, had mentioned like this was a great representation of like Jewish might against the Muslim enemies, and that Army Hammer had this ancestry, and his grandfather was like some great baron or whatever. All these different things. Okay, something that doesn't come at any point in the film. It's not
No.
at anything, nothing in the film, but it's just now it's unpopular. Like you'll get people swarming you if you talk on Twitter. Say, oh, actually, I did like it. Like this low IQ garbage, and it's obviously a Zionist propaganda piece to say that Muslims should be killed. Oh, you're a monster. And I'm like,
Oh my
listen,
God,
I just
guys!
like to have times where, people get away with crimes. It happens all the time and it shouldn't happen. I think that everybody needs the autistic man to step out of the shadows and, deal in absolutes. And that's what I get in this film. And that is something that I could be satisfied with in an essence. So I'm going to
We
continue enjoying
advocate
the
for
film.
death of the author, so fuck what Uwe Boll says about his film. We bring to it whatever we feel like. Hans, what were you gonna say?
Is his Auschwitz film
I
just
was
like pro-Israeli propaganda? Because we haven't seen it. We've only seen screen caps
Would you
of
think
it.
it'd be anti-Israel? His World War II Holocaust film would be
Yeah, Hans,
anti-Jew?
what do you think
I
is going to
mean-
be the perspective of that movie?
He's-
Also, I
he's
learned
bold.
afterward. I decided to because honestly, I'm not that familiar with Uwe Boll. We've talked about him here and there in like early episodes of the podcast because Hans is probably more familiar with him. And the Auschwitz movie has been this sort of shadow over the podcast where it's like, are we ever going to touch the Auschwitz movie? But this movie, I guess, made me want to do like a second look because he's put out so many movies and they're all horrible. House of the Dead, I remember renting in 2003. I was like 13 years old, and it was the first movie I rented off of pay-per-view, and I had to like shut it off. I felt guilty that I had my mom rent it. It was so bad.
I went to the theater as a 16-year-old and was so mad that I watched that piece of shit. So I feel you.
Yeah, terrible. And I learned that he did Auschwitz, he did Blood Rain 3, and then some other movie. He shot 3 movies at the same exact time and used the same locations and mostly the same actors. There's an interesting documentary.
Is it In the Name of the King 2 or whatever? Like
it might have been something like that. Yeah, there's an interesting documentary. You can watch it on Tubi for free. It's called "Fuck You All," and it's about Uwe Boll. Interesting stuff there.
Should we do his Auschwitz movie as a foursome?
Have we been able to find it? I haven't looked for it, but I mean,
yeah, we could do that. We could absolutely.
I mean, he plays a guard. That's literally the only thing we know because we've seen a screen cap of him dressing like a Nazi guard.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys seen Postal?
Yeah,
no, actually, I haven't.
A long time ago though.
That's the one of his that we reviewed with him, and I thought it was genuinely pretty funny. You might enjoy it. But then again, Hans hates every comedy that I like, so he might hate it.
But that is Zach Ward, right? That's the ginger guy that I showed earlier.
Yeah, so it'll be like Titus, and you might like it.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, it's what, 2012, 13-ish?
It's like George W. Bush and Osama bin Laden are friends and, skipping together in a meadow, that kind of humor.
Yeah.
Okay.
We should do Postal and Auschwitz, I think. If we're going to cover it. We should do a doubleheader.
I'll watch it again.
Because that way you get the whole Uwe Boll. I mean, I guess you would still need to watch one of his like
Uwe Boll summer
like movies. Yeah,
this one counts.
Is it, then that becomes the new series. If we do another Uwe Boll movie, 2 more, then suddenly that's our new thing instead of YouTuber films.
I'm not doing 12 of these movies.
What is his best movie?
Postal.
Well, I guess the biggest difference here will be that we're not going to get Jake Paul to jump on this call to call us faggots, but I can see Uwe Boll jumping in here being like, oh, you fucking pieces of shit shitting on my movies, or whatever he sounds like. I have no idea. But I can see him.
Are open, LowRes. Send him a link to this right now. He might join.
I tried to get Uwe Boll. I tried to get Army Hammer. No replies at all from any account that I DM'd. So
did you ask Kino Corner to help? Because they're all best friends.
No, I did not. And in fact, the last 2 times I tried to say anything to Kino Corner, I'm pretty sure that DM was not open. So
it's because we've been very critical of Dime Square, and like that's every girl he wants to fuck is on Dime Square. So unfortunately, we've kind of.
You think he's up to date on what you guys are critical of? You think?
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, big fan. He listens to every episode.
He doesn't give a fuck about any of us, dude.
He's a huge fan. I mean, I think everyone should tweet at him and be like, "Oh man, I'm so glad that you're the #1 fan of the Movies podcast."
The only time he talks in the Is It Kino group chat is just to give us updates on what he's doing that we should like be impressed by.
Cool.
What are his friends up to? His friend Army Hammer. Do we know what his friend Army Hammer is going to be doing next?
Well, yes, actually. I mean, it's relevant to this film. Kino
is he out of hospice care? Because he looks like absolute shit now.
Man, he looked like the Come and See main character on that fucking Zoom call with Kino Corner. His personality. His personality, he was a good sport about everything, though. But like any screenshot of Army Hammer coming out of that interview looks exactly like the Come and See stationary shot of the traumatized boy.
Eggy, what's the name of Kino Corner's company he works at? Like Fudo?
That's right, the Fudo.
Yeah, Kino is trying to use his connection and his employment to fund a sequel to this film, Citizen Vigilante 2. And when he told us about this, I said, hey, can you get Eggy a cameo in the movie? He said, absolutely, that will not be a problem.
Hell yeah.
I think it's basically guaranteed.
Is he going to be based in Texas? Is that where the movie's happening? Or are we getting another
brand? Is he killing Mexicans?
Yeah, we're getting
another.
I'm
pretty sure Uwe Boll only films in places he can get a big tax break on. So probably in Europe. We'll have to
So we're
fly
getting
Eggy out.
so we're getting Bulgaria Citizen Vigilante too. Kind of like I Spit in Your Grave 3, I think it was filmed in Bulgaria, and it's like, oh cool. It's a
Well, I
basement.
don't know how the funding or the profitability of this film is working. Elon Musk, I guess, posted it to his personal Twitter account for 2 days. Did he pay Uwe Boll like
No,
$100,000 to do that?
from my understanding, he contacted Uwe Boll and was like, "Hey, can I do this?" And Uwe was like, "Yeah, sure, all right," because he knew that Elon's attention span is going to be like that, and the moment's going to pass. So the movie was
Sure,
made for
no money
$2 million, and they've made,
out of his own pocketbook.
I guess so, yeah, that's what he said, and they've made back 600,000.
Oh fuck!
Yeah,
Even being
but
Ratings,
number
bros,
one
where
on
we at
Amazon
though?
means
they
nothing.
they did just secure international distribution, which will probably bring back some of that. But it's still, if I had to really estimate, the international distribution deal is probably going to bring it to like 1.3.
S-
So
So
there's
you're
still
saying
money to
that
be made to break even.
people might be able to watch the movie without an Indian man in the middle of it, blending uh, bills.
Daily Motion didn't have that.
I didn't get that version. That copy
That
sounds
was
better. That sounds
that
like
was
comedic relief.
that wasn't Daily Motion still a thing? That's
Well, this
more.
movie is being torrented and pirated and stolen everywhere, which is why I was really hoping on this podcast, Hans, you could find and pull up specifically during the bus scene when
Oh, I
he's
can get it.
talking to
I
the
can get it
teenagers.
in like a minute. Yeah, because
Because for
I
people who are never
watched.
going to watch this, that's a good example, other than like the shootout at the end where it's one man against a bunch of unarmed children. But this bus scene, like the dialogue, the autism of
Yeah.
the character,
Mhm.
I think it really captures the essence of the movie.
Listen,
Are all of Uwe Boll's movies? Do they have the dialogue that is this on the nose, where it's just like it feels like a first draft of something?
He's like Tommy Wiseau, where his English is not completely perfect, and all the characters are now like translated through his understanding of English.
That makes so much sense. Okay.
well, imagine being an actor and Uwe Boll is your director, and you're like, "Hey, this sounds like I'm retarded," because that's not how how people sound like. I don't think he would be
I was a
very
little bit
happy.
shocked that LowRes praised Army Hammer's performance. I thought even he
Yeah.
couldn't
Yeah, I
elevate
thought
this shit.
No, I listen because I'm so used to watching this caliber movie. I mean, Hans, we just watched what was it, Life on the Line, starring John Travolta and Devon Sawa, and these actors will take these deals, and the movies are clearly made to sell to the foreign market because they can't really tell whether or not like the English is being delivered, like the performance, the English language performance is good or bad or what. For example, with this movie Night Walk with Mickey Rourke, he won some award in Prague or somewhere as like best actor, but you watch that movie as like a natural English speaker, and you're like, this performance fucking sucks. So these
Yeah.
movies are made, and the actors know to like not really expend their energy because it's going to be forgotten, and the paycheck is going to be worth more than the 3 or 4 days they spend on set. But Army Hammer, I felt, actually showed up and delivered a real performance. Now it was hampered because Uwe Boll notoriously only does 1 or 2 takes and then he moves on. He does the Clint Eastwood thing, which he should absolutely not do. He should let those actors get comfortable, especially the surrounding actors of this film who can hardly speak English. But I thought Army's performance was like, okay, he didn't phone it in. He took it seriously, and that alone brought enough gravitas to the movie that it would lack absolutely otherwise.
Yeah,
Dino alert, everybody.
I got the scene.
because you could just feel, like I said, in those moments that are kind of like it's sort of like a you get like having like the bread in the soup or the endless breadsticks is kind of like the Uwe ball, and then like the after dinner mint is the Uwe ball, and the delicious juicy steak with perfectly roasted asparagus and maybe a buttered biscuit or something, I don't know, whatever, buttered baked potato is the Army Hammer. You can kind of get like, you get light, and then you get that heavy rich, this is what I'm here for. Boom. Back to the, you can finish off a little bit on the light side again. As a fat person, I must relate everything to food, as you know.
That's right. You ready to watch this, Hans?
You forgot about the sand hand job afterwards, which is what makes it all worth.
Luckiest you have ever been.
I'm gonna be honest with you. When this happened, I thought he was gonna shoot him, because he said, "This is the luckiest you're ever gonna be," or whatever the fuck. but then he doesn't do anything.
Should we just watch the whole movie?
Would YouTube allow us to watch when he shoots that family to death?
Probably not.
Self-defense.
Well, to be honest, that's the one.
Self-defense. Wait, they
that-
had explosive bombs on their chest.
That is the one.
Hey,
That is the one scene I
you
saw on
checked it. I don't
Twitter.
know.
By the way, the one where it was like, "Oh, this is why everyone's blacklisted in this movie because he shoots brown people or whatever." And I was like, "Okay, well, I guess I'll be watching the." Oh, I didn't know this is the final scene of the movie. Okay, so I got it spoiled before I even watched this thing, because I guess white people on Twitter were having a boner about him shooting browns, which
Which to
I
LowRes'
think it's
point,
cool.
it's an
I think it's
original movie concept.
Listen,
I've never seen a movie like
I
this
give
really
my
ever.
I give my stamp of approval to that because, and I said this in my article as well. If you had this type of movie now, first of all, they would not be Muslim. If they were Muslim, they would be Chechen Muslim because they're white people, or it would be like a mixed. I mean, even if you go back to Death Wish, you have Jeff Goldblum fronting the gang that does the rape. Okay, it's like the Warriors. It's a completely multicultural coalition of bad guys. And yeah, he does go around after. He never gets that gang in Death Wish, spoilers, but he goes around killing different perps who are robbing and raping and doing all this horrible shit. This movie reflects exactly what the narrative we've seen come out of Europe is. And the closest thing to like pulling a punch is what we just saw, where it's like, all right, well, you got a white girl, a white boy, and then like a black guy. Okay.
That might have been a gypsy boy, but either way.
yeah.
Oh.
It is kind of wonderful that he spares them.
Well, ish, right? Because he breaks the black guy's ankles, so he's not gonna have a basketball career anymore.
But like when it
Worse
comes to like
punishment.
you have to die, the entire family of just the boy who raped a white girl has to go. And he gives a speech before he kills them saying like, we're importing you people and this is part of your culture. Like you're all okay with it. You're all making excuses for it. And that's why you all have to die. And then to end the film with a call to action saying, hey, we endorse this message and you should go try it yourself. Is that being edgy? Is that being dangerous, LowRes, or is that just badass and cool?
I don't think it's mutually exclusive. It depends. It depends on where you fall in that whole thing, of course. But I mean, listen, I don't live in Europe. I don't plan on visiting Europe.
Don't.
But it clearly seems like they don't have like a handle on the problems that are over there. So if Uwe Boll wants to make that type of movie and he's paying for it himself and he wants to get a big Hollywood star or wants big Hollywood star, I think that's interesting. I think that's ballsy. I think that's that's a big swing to take. And good for Armie Hammer, I guess, for either being desperate enough or whatever the reasoning was. I'm sure he looked at that script and questioned his decision 1,000 times. But you kind of also have to appreciate how airheaded actors are, and that they clearly have no real thoughts in their head, and they just go with whatever the dialogue says. And that's what he did. He was a great actor. I must commend him.
I don't know,
Do you
man.
think
I
that
think
this-
I think just knowing actors, he probably just read it and not even know what he was reading. But then when you're on set and you have Yue yelling at you because you're not being racist enough with your delivery, then that's when you're like, oh fuck, I am in fucking Serbia shooting this movie and I'm not being ruthless enough with this big nosed Muslim that in his family. And this I mean, but what other options does he have, right?
Well, he did Frontier Crucible, which was this Western that Dallas Saunier, who previously, his company's Bonfire Legend, it used to be Cinestate. He had a deal with, oh God, we should probably talk about this a little bit, Daily Wire
what are they,
for
what
a
are they,
period of time.
What are they doing
So,
now?
well, I'll tell you what they're doing now. You didn't see?
No.
So, Jonathan Majors signed a deal with them to go do a movie. I knew what the movie was because I got a source over there. It was Run, Hide, Fight 2. What I didn't know was that it was Run, Hide, Fight Infidel, so it's now a Muslim shooter. And
Yep.
in their infinite wisdom, they dropped the trailer during the week that Citizen Vigilante kicked off its big publicity spree, which I get from their perspective makes sense. but it does not make sense because you know that movie's going to bitch out. You already know that movie's going to pull punches. And they were going to have like the lightest Arab guy, I bet you, playing that Muslim terrorist. So you're going
I
to follow
played
it up
a
with
Muslim
that.
terrorist.
Yeah.
They put a wig on me.
He's an Indonesian Muslim.
Yeah.
So, trying to do that, it's like the temperature and what's been considered now acceptable with a certain online audience has changed. It radically changed like that. They do have the tolerance and patience for something with this sort of weight to it. And you're going to get that movie and it's going to disappear like all their other movies. I think that was a big mistake. They should go get Jonathan Majors. I'm sure he's got some glass in his back from falling out that window. They can pluck those out and then go like really hard in the paint with it, but they won't do that.
No. So instead you just get, the Ben Shapiro shooting movie where no one's really going to watch because why
That would be
watch
awesome if he was the one shooting the Muslims back.
Yeah,
If you want to do something, you just got to do it yourself. And he climbs out of his high chair and grabs that gun and starts walking around.
his sister's wearing like an anime outfit, being like, "No, Ben, no," with her tits out.
Now
I mean, I'll
interested,
watch
Hans.
that. I'll watch that. Yeah, hell yeah. I'll definitely cover that movie before Run, Hide, Fight, Infidel. Run, Hide, Fight to begin with was such a bomb that nobody cared about. That it's so weird that they're trying to like build this universe around it.
Well, that movie, the narrative on that movie went from we're premiering it at Cannes or Sundance. It premiered at Venice. It premiered at like some big film festival, and then somebody on board that film, I think, got canceled, right? Or no, that's around the time that Cinestate, I think, went under because of some bullshit.
That's
Sonny Bunch, that fucking faggot. I hope you die, Sonny Bunch. Criticizing me on X because of that Stanley Kubrick box set. You won't even fucking feature my Twitter handle, you bitch. That dude fucking took that company down and was like one of the insiders who was like, oh, they're doing things like this and that. That's what I've heard from like 5 or 6 different people. That dude, Sonny Bunch, who now works for the Bulwark. Horrible fucking company. By
the way, if you buy that Kubrick set, you're a retarded faggot. I just want to say that you're just getting played by these companies that are overcharging you for shit that you've watched 20 times. And you know what? Just because you watch a 4K HD, blah blah blah, whatever the fuck, you watched this movie 20 times, so you should not be paying $500. And if you're upset about people being like, why are you paying $500 for this in this economy? Then you're just.
But Hans, it's never been in 4K.
Funko Pop.
It's never been in 4K before. It's $500 for all these movies.
Yeah.
Give me
That's what I need. Fucking what's the worst Kubrick? I mean, I'm not even shitting on Kubrick because his movies are good. But it's just like,
if
it's
anything,
like
it's shitting on Criterion for upcharging $500 for movies that have been out for fucking 90 years.
Well,
and
it's
you can get them.
It's a Funko Pop thing, right? Where it's just like, well, I'm a movie person and my entire personality is that I like movies. Let me talk to you about this very obscure movie. I own the Blu-ray that's only being produced in Bratislava. Do you want to watch? No, you suck. You have no personality. You suck.
We like Kubrick. We like physical media, but that's outrageous. That's ridiculous. For 34 discs, you're telling me that Killer's Kiss needs 2 to 3 Blu-ray discs for special? Get the fuck out of here. Anyway, all that to say, Run, Hide, Fight had like a good start. Something happened, and then they were Cinestate reshaped into Bonfire Legend. Dallas was like, all right, maybe we can make a deal with Daily Wire, okay? Because this is like a vaguely right-leaning message movie. You got the girl with the gun protecting the school, and Thomas Jane is in there. So that kicked off their whole line of original films. Then you do Shut In, which they wasted Vincent Gallo on. That was fine, but like it could have been so much better. They do. What was it? Terror on the Prairie with Gina Carano.
Yep.
Nobody's
Horrible.
thought about that movie. They did 1 or 2 others after they acquired some movies, and then they realized, maybe we suck at making movies. And we can't really do that anymore. Then they did this movie, and the trailer. Hans, if you want to pull it up to Run, Hide, Fight, Infidels, I don't think it shows any footage from the movie. They just recognize, oh, fuck, Citizen Vigilante's taken off. Let's show a bunch of clips of Muslim terrorists. and like the war in Iraq or something.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
Also, for the
and
record, I will be breaking into Best Buy and taking all these Kubrick. You said $500. I'm about to be reselling these on a carpet in front of the intersection downtown for $400. So come and get them while it's cheap and hot before the cops show up.
well, no, Eggy, that's the worst part. You have to be a Blu-ray fag internet person to like only go on the day when this goes live because it's gonna sell out immediately, right? So it's not even a
That's even you got to wait in a digital line for this. Oh
yep.
my,
Just like if
boo.
you were buying sneakers, I guess. And by the way, Dallas O'Neill from Bonfire Legend passed on Mass State Lottery, so fuck you. And this is the
Wow.
bullshit that you're doing now. Go
Hey,
fuck
hold
yourself.
up. I personally
I
like
can.
Dallas.
No, I don't. Fuck you. But anyway,
A
here's
terror warning
infidels.
in Northern
piece of shit.
Virginia. Radical Islam has
Oh.
designs openly on the west.
The FBI thwarted a terror plot on New Year's Eve. Violent attack over the Halloween weekend in Michigan.
Protests on college campuses showing no signs of stopping.
Not much of a movie trailer.
No, this
Exactly.
is just-
No, well, I don't know if I could show that on YouTube now,
They recreated
but this is
Well,
on YouTube.
yeah, so
it
right.
is.
It's
They
interesting.
recreated 9/11 for the movie. That's pretty.
that was in
dedicated.
Legos.
Ben Shapiro. He said, "Yeah, can we do that one again?" I know I asked you last time too, but we see one more for my movie. This is what Donald Trump put up. He put up a Muslim flag in front of the White House. Oh my lord!
That's the White House.
Yeah, lots of
It's a house that's white. I mean, it's in Virginia. It's all. Oh my God, they're bowing down. Oh my lord.
Oh man.
Okay.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not a huge fan of those LA chants, but like a movie about I. I
Is this
This
at a
is-
college?
Those were our heroes that were bowing down right there. They're getting ready to fight the villains.
Yeah, Lawton University in Harper, Virginia.
Here, I bet you
guess.
here's what the twist is going to be. There's going to be one Muslim that fights back against the radical Muslims.
Yeah, his dad's dead, so he's gonna be like, "Oh, I'm different."
Matt Walsh in a turban. He's dark enough now.
This is like,
It's part of the Lady Ballers extended
oh
universe.
man, are we getting Lady Ballers casting here? If it's just random, just what's the bald guy's name? Andrew Clavin. Are we getting Andrew Clavin on brownface playing Muslim? Because I'm down if that's the case. That's the only way that I would watch this movie.
Would Hijab Ballers be the keynote to save 2026?
We just brown everyone on Daily Wire and put them in this movie.
I wonder if they got the rights to that, or if Jeremy Boring took it with him when he got fired, since that was their most successful movie, but like by far. There was
Lady
no
Ballers?
question. Lady Ballers, yeah.
That was his baby. He probably took it with him. LowRes, have we pitched our jury duty movie idea that we want you to direct one day?
No.
Juror number 3.
It's based 100% on a true story of Eggy's experience at like the most ghetto racist court trial imaginable, where like the black guy being accused of rape served as his own lawyer, and he's talking about like the
Hell yeah.
Yakub and all this crazy shit. Have we told you about this
No.
before?
No.
No.
Yeah, we want to write it out as a script, like Eggy's real life experience with this, and have you direct it as a movie. Really just 2 locations, like the courtroom, jury duty room, and like Eggy's house, knock out a movie in a week.
A movie in a week. Well, I'm sold based off of what you told me before about this man being his own lawyer and invoking the name of Yaku in his defense.
Yeah, Eggy, tell him all the good details.
I mean, so basically, we got called for jury duty. We got pulled up. We didn't know what was going on exactly. We had to get a little bit of a screening, but which also Tyrone Jackson did not understand because he was like kind of vaguely threatening us, like in our initial screenings, and also vaguely threatening us before or after the final deliberations or whatever. But
Tyrone Jackson, that's his name?
yeah,
That's his
Yep.
fake name for the story.
Okay, well, okay, because
it was very similar. I assure you, it really was.
You're gonna need to
it really
change
was-
that because
I
that's too
just been-
stereotypical, I think.
No,
Just-
it was very, yeah. So basically, he was from Texas, which is true. I can't remember if I told that in the original jury duty, but
I
I'm
think
far enough
so.
removed. And he was visiting this nice church-going lady, who was in Minnesota. It just happened to be about 29 miles away from the 30-mile radius that the county could have to bring charges in our courtroom. And basically, she was watching the house for her sister, and whatever was going on. they got a little freaky deaky with it. She said she was a good God fearing woman. She wasn't letting nobody around no more because they're both like in their 40s or whatever. She's waiting to settle down. And then allegedly, no, it was a Diddy party times 10, all kinds of vegetables getting oiled up and all types of things going on. They were on their hands and they're standing on the ceiling. They're doing everything you can imagine. But for about 1 nanosecond, she decided, oh, actually, wait, pull out for a second. And I guess he didn't. Therefore, then it was rape. And then even though that she continued spending time with him for multiple days, and they were staying together in this house. So, it was
Give him a
probably
taste of the defendant advocating for himself as his own lawyer. Because that's really like
so
the
you have to
essence of the piece.
cross-examine, the star witness, or I should say
his rape victim, pretty much.
Prosecution. Yeah. So
The
he was
cum
like,
receiver, the receiver
yeah.
of all the cum, right? That
He's like,
girl.
bitch, now, did you or did you not want me to put that big old lubed up dildo up your ass or whatever, like, something like that?
Can I play that? Do you think I could?
Did you tell me you was a good girl and you not looking for none of that freak ass shit?
Did
No,
you not
Eggy-
worship this dick? Did you or did you not, for the
Yes.
jury, worship this dick?
Yeah.
Like
Eggy,
that kind of stuff.
Since you've seen me physically, like in person, do you think that I could play that role? Because I don't
no,
think
Tyler
I
That
don't
sounds
think
like a Kenny Dorsley role, honestly.
I know
Tyrone Jackson was probably about 5'6", 5'7", so you might be a little off for the casting.
Are we mumking blackface?
That was the whole thing. Yeah, he was an Afrocentrist or whatever. So basically, he'd be like, brother man, really, this all us right here, this dirt, man, this whole universe, man.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We from outer space, man. We superhumans, man.
Yep.
We thought of this and all of this. That's why that's why y'all got the sun and the moon and the stars, because it came from us. It came from here. And it's true, as Mom Q was saying, yeah, as he's examining the project. Now tell me, did you or did you not worship this dick? This BBC,
And she's
right
like, yes, yes, sir, I did.
And you could, did you go outside and go to the store, get more lube? You know what I'm saying? Get some more of that. If you didn't want this dick, bitch, you want this fucking dick, why'd you go buy more lube? Because you wanted this right here. And was we or was we not fucking in the car? And they probably could smell it and see the car rocking around. Yeah, we was. Yeah, we was.
Are you allowed to laugh in jury duty? Because I think I would just get up and start clapping.
I was just shocked, frankly. I don't think you can emote. I think you cannot emote at all because it's considered to be like contempt of court. You can't make any noise. You have to sit there in complete silence. And frankly,
fuck! They kick you out? How? How do you not react to?
They would just the judge goes, okay, order in the court, and then you have to compose yourself. Otherwise, if you could not compose, if you were laughing so hard or whatever, they would ask you to leave and they would stop the trial until you were able to be composed, because you need to hear everything for your considerations.
Now, LowRes, to complete the pitch here, the great farce of this is that the jury votes not guilty. The man gets to walk free, and I guess the deliberation in the jury room, you could have a lot of fun drama. You said there was like this really butch lesbian woman who's like very feminist and clearly this black man, raped this woman, but the other 11 people don't agree. So it's like this horrible tragedy from her perspective of letting this dangerous man walk. I think there's a lot of dark humor you could tap into with your sensibilities into this film. Me and Hans could be on the jury as well, as a Minnesotan or whatever state.
Oh, I was already imagining Hans as the judge, like Judge Alito in the OJ trial, honestly.
Was it a woman judge, Aggie?
Yes, it was a long, blonde-haired, Scandinavian female judge.
Yeah,
we just had a blonde wig. We had a blonde wig on this new movie. Hans, you're familiar with wigs.
I mean, Scandinavian women are not the most feminine women in the world. So, I mean, I think I could maybe pull it off. Maybe I can. I don't
think you guys are taking this film seriously. We might have to pitch it to a more serious director with a good head on.
You should take it to Bonfire Legend Daily Wire.
Taking it to Uwe Boll.
It's kind of juror number 2-ish, right? Doesn't that happen? Where it's just like the feminist is.
Yeah. You got a touch of that, but it sounds. I would say
juror
it's probably
number
closer
2
to
is
12
that
Angry
the
Men.
Juror was secretly responsible for the crime. It would be like if Eggy actually raped this woman and
No,
is
no,
now
no, no,
watching
no.
another man be accused.
Well, I mean, that's a twist that we definitely need in the movie. But I
That's
mean,
not even a twist. That was the plot of Juror 2.
but in our movie, I mean, but the
Okay.
characters, I mean, the jurors in juror number 2 remind me a lot of what Eggy is saying. It's like a stereotype of like, I'm fat and black, so I'm gonna be a better cuck, and I'm a lesbian white woman, so I'm very strong and I'm very opinionated type of thing, you know?
Another thing that was funny was that during jury selection, there was like a guy, he's probably about like, let's say 53 or something like that. This white guy, he's like, well, shit, I'm racist. I don't like none of them black people. And the judge was like, well, no, see, they're both black, so that's not going to be a problem here. So you're free to continue being on the jury.
We
And
found
also
my character there.
just the crushing defeat, because the defense had like no closing statement. So like this woman who is like counting on the state's representative versus a man who's lit. I mean, objectively, almost anything he said out of context would be able to declare him like legally insane. Like this man literally thought that he like was like moving the ground with his mind and like spinning the earth, like the black man like keeps the earth rotating around the sun like through sheer mental force, and it's like tiring to the black populace, and they need like reparations for that or something. And that's the prosecution statement that won the case, is shit like that. And you're like a collected, the lady who was like the defense lawyer is like probably I would say like late 40s early 50s Caucasian woman, full pantsuit, all this stuff, professional looking, all these papers. And it comes time for her to make the prosecution's like closing statement. She's like, the defense's closing statement, or whatever. And she's like, I guess if you want, I'm just saying this man is obviously a dangerous, violent. He's predatory. He's an obvious monster, and he's also vulgar and totally insane. I mean, I can't imagine how you could possibly allow this man to be free. He's obviously somebody who needs to be kept away from the general public for all of our own good. Rest my case. Then we went all in and said, yeah, he's not guilty. And then came back out 3 minutes later. And I mean, absolutely, like, you might as well have dropped a giant, like, wooden mallet from the ceiling directly into this lady's stomach. I mean,
She needed to say the word for him to be guilty. That's the problem.
especially
She
because
needs-
Tyrone Jackson and his brother with like these like 8-foot long dreadlocks, they started doing like this like dance in the courtroom. Yeah, I'm free, bitch. Yeah, not guilty, bitch. And just like an app, like just all the color, and no pun intended. I mean, all the life just draining out of the woman and her lawyer and the family.
Lo-
But I mean,
Loris,
but he was innocent though. I mean, it is what it is.
But
does Kenny have brothers?
yeah. Kenny's it's kind of like a Michael Lewis Hasselhoff situation where you take a look at his brothers and you're like, how did you wind up the way you are? Michael Lewis Hasselhoff. I met his dad. I didn't meet his brothers, but he's shown me pictures of his brothers, and they all look like Patrick Bateman.
Okay.
And that's not an exaggeration. And then you're like, oh man, really is Tommy Boy. This is your life. Kenny's kind of a similar situation where it's like his brother owns a gym and is like extremely fit and wealthy, and then it's like, Kenny, what happened to you, man? What went wrong here? Hans, you got a home intruder, by the way.
You sent him a fucking torta 10 years ago. That's what happened.
I didn't send him anything. He showed up for it. So, Eggy, you're telling me this man defended himself in court as his own lawyer, which they always tell you never to do, and used extreme language and came out of it not guilty.
That is absolutely correct. Yes.
That's amazing.
Is that not film worthy? If not just an 80-minute quick film, we knock it out in a week, find the right actor for it.
You find me a court, we might be in business.
You're the director. You have to.
The director directs. The director.
Yeah.
You guys are the producers. You just brought this idea to me. Simplify my job, and I'll do it. But
yeah, you want me to know where to get a fucking that thing in Iowa? How the fuck?
Hey, Hans, you're more of a producer than me. I've seen you produce films before. You got to help out.
Yeah, let me go to Iowa and find a judge.
Can one of you guys pay for his plane ticket to scout?
Well, we definitely
any place that we can get a courtroom for a week, or just build one, because it's just a bunch of chairs and benches. Like, fuck,
well, no,
just one
but But if we shoot it in Iowa, then we can use your house as
Aggie's
the.
moving out of Iowa in like a month.
Well,
This is like years down the road.
I
There's
didn't say
no
Aggie.
reason to come
No,
to
I
Iowa.
didn't say Aggie. I said your house.
There's no reason to come
Listen,
to
shut
Iowa
up,
for
shut
this.
up, shut up, shut up. Well, listen. So we use your home as a base, and that way we don't have to spend thousands of dollars of an Airbnb or a hotel for us to stay in.
Hans,
So
I would
shut
love
up.
to have you
Hold on,
come
hold
stay
on,
on my
hold on.
couch
So
anytime.
hold on. So we stay in your house, and then because it's Iowa, then I'm sure we can just bribe some person to get one of those jury places, and I'm sure you
Yep,
know.
we find a bailiff.
And I'm
You
sure,
mean?
yeah, and I'm sure you know enough degenerates on Iowa that we can get to play the other characters that I just retarded and sit there without saying a word. So I
Yeah,
mean,
go wave like $20 in front of the people that work at McDonald's. I guarantee. And there's a lot of homeless people outside McDonald's too. They probably do it for like $10.
and like the difference here is that if we were to shoot this in New York, for us to get like that room where it's happening, it's going to cost us thousands of dollars, and also the retards in New York are a lot more expensive than the retards that you find in Iowa,
Sure.
right? So I
But
mean,
I'm saying we can go anywhere in the entire country.
are you funding? Are you funding this shit? Because I am
So
broke as
here's
fuck.
the thing. Here's the thing. Hypothetically, years down the road, if we're actually going on this movie here, I could
Yeah.
see a crowdfunding campaign of $20,000-$30,000. That could go a long way for something like this.
Yeah.
Again, it's only 2 or 3 rooms that we're filming in.
I
A
mean,
handful of actors.
2030 works for now, I think. If we're thinking about 10 years from now, 30,000 will be like $500 now. So I don't know.
10 years from now is a little far. I was thinking maybe
Yeah.
like 4 or 5. I know LowRes has probably another 2 movies he wants to do in him before then.
Well, it depends on what the scope of everything looks like. You got to follow the momentum. I do have scripts, but I don't know. I could be persuaded if the project seemed interesting enough. Now, there actually is a courtroom that I'm aware of that would be attainable in Los Angeles, California. So
Is it
I don't know what
expensive?
I don't honestly. Expensive for Los Angeles is not that expensive because everybody's leaving, and they drove the film industry out through.
But considering we would
offering-
have a whole jury of 12 people plus the other actors, that's a lot of hotels in LA. Would it be cheaper in some cheap hellhole to just build a set?
Well,
Here-
you get
no.
LA people that live
that's the
nearby.
thing
Yeah.
is you probably pack most of the jury. You do have like your stars or whatever in there.
You just get
that-
people who live there. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yes,
I was
and then
going to have
otherwise
people like we know in the cast.
Mhm.
Well, that's why I'm saying fucking Iowa, Jimmy.
Oh.
Do you see my vision?
we
there?
got for this movie I just shot in April and May. Hans made the mistake of not coming with us for Los Angeles. We got a gorgeous, beautiful house, the best house I've ever slept in.
Hold
and
on.
we
I
could
don't-
fit
I don't-
like
no,
7
no, no.
people in there, and
No,
it
I don't
was
think- no,
$3,000.
No,
I think for 8 or 9 days.
hold on. I think if you had told me that I was going to share a room with MLH for
Hold up. Nobody told you to share a bed with MLH, and I scolded you for
Bed?
that. Hans's heart
I'm too
is
nice.
too big sometimes.
I
The generosity gets misplaced, and it was like, okay, MLH can have the couch, and that's a different room. So I never said you had to share a room with him, and then you invited
There's-
because it was a huge bed, and you
There's
put him
no
in the bed.
couch. There's no couch big enough for MLH. I feel
I could
that.
sleep
I
on that
was-
couch.
You, MLH is like 3 of you.
Hey, that's
So, like,
mean. Hey, no need to don't make fun of my friend MLH here, okay?
I
He could
think he
fit on
would-
that couch.
No, he couldn't. He would have slept there if he could. The first night I saw him fitting on that tiny little
The
couch, and I
first,
was like,
Hans,
and I
did he or did he not start snoring on that couch while we were shooting on the first
Yeah.
day? And we're shooting this very personal, intimate scene in one room, and then suddenly we hear, and MLH is asleep, sitting
Yes.
up on this couch.
But at that point, I looked at him, and he wasn't even on the couch. He was on the floor with the cushions, because he couldn't fit in the couch. And it's very difficult for me at 40 to not relate to an obese 22, 23-year-old that's just trying to be there. So for me, it's just like, let me try to help him, and then I'm just get fucked. So I mean, if I knew that if the California, LA house was going to be this nice house where we're just dealing with celebrities and like cool people, I probably would have changed my traveling dates to do that instead. But by the time that came up, I had no vacation time left, and I didn't want to go work in California because fuck that.
It
So
was so much. No, it was so much better. Hans, you took the no air conditioner early 1900s
yep,
house with
yep,
MLH in the bed, and goddamn
yep.
that room.
Waking up at 3 in the morning because he set up an alarm at the wrong time on his phone, and then just throwing his fucking phone at his face because I'm waking up with him. Yeah, no, it was fun. I mean, I honestly like I have zero complaints about our productions, even though I've suffered through most most of them. But I don't mind like that part. I don't mind. I am kind of pissed that this new movie that we shot, Everything California, looks so good that I was like, oh man, that's what like a real production looks like, and I wish I was a part of this, but
Isn't
it's
Hans the
fine.
main character of this movie?
No,
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 no.
no, no, no. So we got two movies that are in post and a series. Disorderly, which you guys are in, that's the one that Hans is the star. We just released a teaser poster this week of that, and people are eating that up. But the other one, I worked with a production company, another production company on. They funded the whole thing, and we shot that in New Jersey, New York, and then we wrapped up in Los Angeles. We worked with Sherry Curry of the Runaways and Eric Roberts and a bunch of other people, and that was so cool. It was honestly, it changed my whole opinion of California, of Los Angeles specifically, because it's empty, it's cheap as hell compared to anywhere else. And for this type of project that we're talking about, like a courtroom drama, I would imagine if we were to do like an 8 or 9 day shoot, it'd probably be 10 grand. 10 grand.
Okay, what do we get? Montel's old set?
Montel.
Yeah, it wasn't, I don't know.
Montel Williams.
Montel.
Yeah.
You are
Yeah.
not the father. Woo!
I'm just thinking of like old judge shows, right? Wasn't Montel a judge?
Judge Joe Brown. No, he wasn't a judge. He was just bald.
He was just
Oh,
on like
oh,
Jerry. He was like Jerry Springer, just sitting in the chair with the people across from him.
oh, Judge
Yeah.
Judy said then. I don't know. I wanted to
Okay,
go
there you
ethnic
go.
with it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Eggy, you get to work on the screenplay.
Mhm.
I bet if I fed that YouTube video into my professional Claude software and said generate an entire script based on the transcript of this YouTube video right now, it would probably
And then
get
give it to
somewhere.
LowRes, and he can put make it his baby through his
right.
directorial.
Yeah,
lens,
I'll rewrite it.
Eggy, let me ask you something. So I know
Uh,
that you're producing a video game. Are
Yeah.
are we included in your video game? Are we a part of the game at
They
all?
better be.
There's only two like people, because I mean, what is that? This would be the 6th day since I even decided to have this idea. As of right now, for two reasons. One, Airsoft Fatty, the YouTuber, doesn't have a sprite yet made. He's actually really hard to find now because he's just still the letter A. But he, since he lost the weight, he increases your inventory space by 50%. Like, oh, you can carry more now. Just listen to my fitness training song. I'll figure that out eventually. I only did that because somebody was complaining to me on a stream that he was like doing some dance challenge and it was cringe. So I was like, oh, Airsoft Fatty. I was just, at that time, I was only like a day or two into it. I was trying to think of anybody to put into the game, basically.
Like
And then a
us?
guy on my stream who also makes a lot of songs that like sample my voice or something and puts them on YouTube. Fishman. He's also gifted me games, all stuff like that. I made him an NPC who's a fish man hybrid that lives in his own special pool. And when you talk to him, he allows you to walk over water because there's a lot of mountains and rivers and things throughout the game that can sometimes impede your progress or take time. So you can talk to him and get water walking to get past that.
Can you add Hans as a fisherman? And when you talk to him, he
Yeah.
says, "Have you ever gone fishing with your dad?"
I was about to say.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, it
I'm
would
just
be
putting on the
perfect to-
spot so that we're added to your game now. Even
Yes.
Jimmy, what's your role in the game? Are you in the game at all?
I haven't asked him yet. I'm waiting to
it's
play
only
it to find
just-
out.
I have the 3 main classes. I have 2 bosses and both of their phases, which have some different things spawning when you fight them. I have 3 enemy types. I have elite enemy types. I have a merchant who also has a dice game you can roll and try to win double your money. I also have a fully functional blackjack casino. with a full blackjack table. It has all the rules and everything that's
That was
normal.
important to get in there early.
Yeah, that was probably one of the second things. I just wanted to see if I could do it. Like, if I just type in make a guy that does blackjack, like, will it work? It had its glitches that had to be worked through, but largely it didn't take a lot of time to get it working properly. So I'll also eventually have slot machines and every other type of gambling that's fun. Probably have casino structures in the game, but that would probably be right now. Like I said, it's got like kind of a natural timer to it because the world is disintegrating behind you. So we'll have an endless mode, and also I'm getting it set up to have multiplayer functionality. I got a full chat window and everything in there that you can do, and interact with other people. So once the endless mode is created, then I'll also have that be like the default multiplayer mode, and you can visit the casinos, towns, resorts, whatever. I mean, anything you can think of can be created with enough time and enough work to make it work. But yeah, we
have a hotel, Eggy.
Yeah, we could. I mean, really, anything you could think of, as far as I could tell. I don't. As long as, especially if it's in a different mode, then it's easy to code. That's the thing now is with where I'm getting at is, like as new code comes in, it breaks old code, and then now a lot of play testing is coming up here. I did do one run before we started today. I think it was about 30-40 minutes or so, maybe, to find out that the final boss was not working properly. So I'll have to go back through that when I do my dev log tonight. But Hans, it'd be easy to make a Hans fisherman because I'll just have him always spawn at the special fishman pool. So that'd be easy. Whatever the other gents wants to have your mark on the game absolutely can be done.
Well, there you go.
What about you, Hans? Any
Well,
projects you're working on?
I'm just writing a series that we might be shooting at some point, but other than that, not really.
A Day in the Life of Hans, the series.
Here's what happened. Hans and I were like, "Yeah, we should write a series. I'll write the pilot. You write episode 2," and I wrote the pilot. And then I read the episode 2 script, and none of the characters that I wrote from the pilot are in there. It's just like a brand new story. And I'm like, what is this? What are you doing? And he's like, oh yeah, I also have episode 3 here. And it's just more of his character. So I was like, all right, I think this is Hans's. You're writing the series, Hans. We'll figure it out.
Hans, what was your thought behind doing that? Like an anthology idea, or you just wanted to fuck over LowRes's time?
No, I just got excited and I just started writing, and then I focused on my character.
Which is what he wrote sucked.
No, I focused more on like what I was doing other than his characters. And
but why'd you want him to write the pilot if you were completely uninterested in what he had to contribute?
Well, no, I'm not uninterested because the setting is that. It's just that I didn't.
It's Queen. The one commonality is it's Queens, New York.
Yeah. So I mean, a couple of characters from episode 1 show up on episode 2,
and then they disappear for 2 through 6.
But it's episode, it's focused on the other character. We have 6 episodes that we have to fill in, so like they're all gonna get their own episode. Mm-hmm. I have 4. I have 4 right now. I haven't sent you the 4th one, but like I have 4 right now. But yeah, that's what I'm putting my extra time on.
I feel like the lives of LowRes, Kenny, Hans, and MLH. It reminds me of like It's Always Sunny, where it's just people just constantly screwing each other over in little and sometimes big ways, comedically. Like Hans is like, "Oh yeah, you should write up a whole script," and then I'm gonna ignore it when I write up the next episode.
I didn't fucking
like
ignore
making MLH.
You kind of ignored it. You did. You kind of ignored it. It's fun, but honestly, it's fine. It's totally okay. I mean that. That's totally fine.
It's good. You fuck. Just say it's good. Just say it's decent enough for me to continue.
No, I've already told you should continue writing for sure, 100%.
Right, Jimmy.
Can I be in the series, Hans? Can you put me in there?
I mean, I guess yeah.
If you don't, I'm gonna get you taken out of Eggy's game.
Hans is gonna make you audition first.
That's fine.
We need some auditions on Zoom where you take your top off and show me who you really are.
You gotta flex for a whole minute.
Isn't that what they made MLH do?
Kind of. Yeah. In person, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of series that we all love, I think this is a good time for this. About 1 hour ago, apparently, I received a $3 donation. It says, ask LowRes about the YouTube channel I Hate Everything and how he hated Citizen Vigilante. So that's the question posed to you from my super chat.
I mean, I don't follow. I know that guy as like a character from late or mid 2010s YouTube, right? Because he had a series with, was it Ralph the Movie Maker and Adam from Your Movie Sucks? Was that
They
the
have a
trifecta?
podcast.
Okay. And
What's
he
the
hated
cartoon
the
with the
movie.
shin, right? It had a big
Yes, I
shin.
guess he thought that it
Yeah.
was chud slop and it was very offensive or something.
Well,
Well, you know,
wouldn't you
shit, they're like
expect that?
liberal as fuck.
Right, yeah, and you're talking specifically about like YouTubers from the 2015 era that are like amazing atheists, skeptic boy style, whatever, like Adam
Well,
is, right?
he's also an Indian guy from England.
Is
So
he
shut
Indian? I didn't know he
the
was
fuck.
Indian.
Yeah, so shut
Why
the
is this guy a white ginger then? That's weird.
I don't know.
Hey, listen,
Hmm.
I saw a guy in India and he said "Kulpi, kulpi, kulpi," and he
I think
looked like
Hans
he was
is
white and
thinking
ginger.
of a grade
What's
A
in the-
under A.
Oh,
Grade
you're
A
right.
under
Yeah,
A.
yes. I'm thinking. You know what? You're right, Jimmy. I
Yeah.
I got the wrong lol cow from 20 years ago, and that's
I
why.
hate everything's a low cow to you.
Sure, I don't know. I don't really. I haven't really checked on his stuff for like 10 years or whatever. So maybe.
Hmm.
But yeah, you're right. I hate everything. That was the guy that wasn't in.
But no, I mean, I would expect that type of guy to not like the movie, and he probably
I
got too
didn't
hung
like
up
the
on.
movie.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, I could have predicted that you wouldn't have liked the movie, but I don't feel like you were particularly vicious with it either.
I'm
But is that
impressed by
because
that he'll go there and he's doing this edgy subject material that nobody else will touch, and it's also based in a reality a lot of people accept, and then a lot of people, like I hate everything, seem to be in denial of somehow,
Mm.
even though I think he lives over there, so maybe he
Well,
has
yeah,
better
why?
say than we do. But
like I said, we can talk about the movie and like the technical aspects of it are clearly, I think it's unquestionably bad. If this movie didn't exist in the context that it does, then it's irredeemable, meaningless, whatever. But we can admire what it's trying to do, what it does do that other movies
the
don't
boldness, the audacity, I admire
Yeah.
it for sure.
do. Will it live beyond this moment? Probably not.
Will it inspire a mass killing of Muslims? That'd be hilarious, huh, LowRes?
Wow.
Yes.
Can you end your
Yeah.
next film with like a call for violence against the minority group?
Well, we have that at the end of Disorder. Don't you stand in front of the camera and then do that, Hans? Isn't that what
Yeah,
we just shot?
I call Habibis a bunch of people, and then and then I pull my not cut penis out, and I go, "Yeah, everyone that's not like that." Wait, no, that's Muslims.
Don't
so
you
no.
saw your foreskin off
Yeah.
like a person's head, like a Muslim terrorist would do?
Yeah.
Is Hans's character based on Army Hammer in that film? Is he not into eating people?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, I wish we had thought about including him in the movie. I'm pretty sure we'd have gotten him in Disorderly.
No.
But either
His
20,
his
20
rate is probably something like 30 grand a day.
Oh my
Oh
god!
fuck!
Yeah.
Never mind. Never mind.
I-
Because
He was on set for 3 weeks for this movie.
Well,
Well-
if you're agreeing to 3 weeks, right, then you're probably doing like he probably did 100 grand for
Yeah,
this
'cause-
And
movie,
he's
I
doing
would
Kino
imagine.
Corner interviews. Like, is he getting paid for that, or is he just invested?
I do wonder if Fudo paid for Army's interview there. That wouldn't be
Yeah.
unheard of.
Because Fudo, not him, right? He wouldn't pay for it.
But no, he
Yeah,
also
would.
did Film Threat with Uwe Boll not long before, and I don't think they would have paid for an interview. So I don't know.
Well, Hans, do you want to plug your Letterboxd before we get out of here?
I don't even know what my username is there because it's so old. So no, not really.
Okay.
I think I gave this movie 2 stars, which I think is accurate enough.
That's the same amount of stars you gave Reagan, by the way.
Yeah.
Back in
I mean,
theaters for America's 250th birthday.
Oh wow!
well, there you go. Same movie.
Starring Skip Schwink.
Same.
Yes.
same yeah. Same movie
Speaking
about.
of people making
about-
great art with artificial intelligence, we got Eggy Quest and the Skip Schwink movie that he's crowdfunding for that, and he's only just generated like the 10-second free clips in Sora that are like every single scene is just a different character, even though it's all supposed to be the same character.
Hell yeah! It's
Go
the same.
funding it.
It's the same
You know what's
guy with
funny?
the same guy with white hair playing every character. That's so cool.
Huh.
No.
What about you, Aggie? What you want to plug your kick?
Well, I'll say I guess I think I'll do x.com/2egg white because all the links come out through there. We got the new devlog coming up tonight. The YouTube, the interest was I think I looked at it. I was a little concerned. I mean, it's whatever. I'm gonna keep doing it anyway because it has nothing to do with YouTube anyway. I'm just deciding to record my progress. But it was like the first devlog had like nice healthy whatevers, and then like the second one was like an 80% reduction in everything. But then the third one kind of balanced out. It's not very many views, but everybody that's watching is actually watching it because they want to watch it. So, I think we're building up. We're Eggy Quest is something different. We don't know about it, but I'm going to keep on with that. And so, if you want to look me up on YouTube at 1egg white as a username, you could also, if that's your preferred platform of content consumption, go ahead and check me out over there.
Looks like Hans got a phone call.
Uh-oh.
I was just about to ask him about the World Cup. I bet he's enamored with it, but we'll never know. LowRes, I saw you guys just put out Loveline International. So that's exactly what I'll be listening to as soon as this ends. I get another 2 hours of LowRes and Hans in my ears. I can't wait.
Yeah, I think it was a great episode. Unfortunately, we lost Kenny after about 10 minutes because I got...
He never comes back?
No, he does come back. He does come back at the end. He got kicked out of his house during the show. So, very unfortunate.
Did you give him advice for that?
I don't think there's any advice that Kenny can really use at this point.
It's not really up to him. That's the problem, I think, right? It doesn't matter what he does. It's not really his decision. So it's like...
it's not his house. Yeah, it's baby mama's house.
Oh.
Big mama's
Hans, do you have thoughts on the World Cup?
I'm watching it right now. I'm watching as we speak, waiting for
Who's
the
playing right
American
now?
United States playing Bosnia Herzegovina in like 10 minutes.
Playing fucking who?
Bosnia?
Bosnia?
Yeah.
They have a good enough team to make it this far. I've never even heard of that country.
I mean, they're going against the United States, which are no one in.
What about Alemania, Hans?
Alemania got kicked out yesterday by Paraguay. Yeah.
Not even Argentina?
No, bad. Disappointing.
Is Messi still going?
Yes.
Good.
But Mexico won yesterday, so that's good. That's who I'm supporting because I'm Mexican.
Okay.
But yeah, that's my World Cup update. If you guys want to know more about that, don't follow me anywhere because I don't post about it anywhere.
That's not true. I see you tagging people being like, I hate soccer. And you're like, well, fuck you. You don't matter. How about that?
This is just my Twitter account. It's just whenever I log in, I just read something retarded and I just get really mad. And then I reply something. And then immediately I'm like, maybe they had a bad day and I delete it. So it's just, yeah. So if you catch that, it's not going to last longer than like 5 minutes because I feel bad immediately. But that's my Twitter life there.
Oh my lord! It's got a breaking news alert. This is important for this to be in this
Weinstein's
episode.
dead?
No. Frankie Muniz announces divorce from his wife.
Oh.
Trouble
You
in
see Harvey
Paradise.
Weinstein's in the hospital?
I did see that, yeah.
Heart failure.
Harvey Weinstein and Mitch McConnell are both dying next to each other, and they're both just reminiscing on all the sexual crimes they committed as they start descending burning to hell.
You mean go to heaven? For all the kino they brought us and great policy at a national level.
A man that never looked more like a turtle. That has to be count for something, right?
He protected us from Obama's pick for Supreme Court, okay? That was pretty based.
Shout out Israel Heaven. Sounds pretty cool. You got a bunch of people like him and the other guy.
Israel Heaven.
Recording stopped, LowRes?
Oh, right. I forgot. That's what people look forward to, right? Well, that's the movies for this week. Thank you for listening.